losses. If you look at your utility bill, about 20% of the costs are transmission losses. And the best part of all, or one of the very best parts, is there's little or no maintenance with these systems. 10, 12 years ago, this inverter here, people had a little trouble with, but those have gotten a lot better now, and the panels all come with a 20-year warranty. Okay, how the grid tie systems work is you have panels mounted on the roof, you've got an inverter which converts the DC panels into AC, and your meter's running backwards. You're in essence selling the energy to your neighbors at a pretty good rate. And then when the sun's no longer out or it's a very cloudy day, you're buying back and your meter spins the other way. Or, so that's just how it works. And the idea is to balance and to end up with a zero bill. There's many different types of solar panels, and it's also kind of fun to know who's in this business. You've got companies like Sharp and Mitsubishi and Sanyo and General Electric all making panels. You've got good domestic companies, SunPower, Evergreen, etc. And you've also got companies like Applied Materials making the machines that actually spit out the panels. This is big business. Solar thermal hasn't really changed at all in 4 years, or very little. Whereas solar electric is changing dramatically right in front of us. A lot of new built-in photovoltaic systems, be it skylights with the solar electric cells built into them, or the roofing material themselves being all solar electric cells. You've got conventional products with PV mounted in it, or again a roofing material where the whole thing is a PV module. These things are all somewhat problematic right now. They're a little expensive, and there's some other issues, but better and better products are coming all the time, easier to integrate in the building. Okay, I mentioned the product PVT, and PVT stands for photovoltaic and thermal. Has most of the advantages listed above with a grid-tied solar electric system, but also adds some solar thermal contribution for domestic hot water and space heating, and maybe even swimming pools. It's a very well thought out system. It's new, and it's just kind of, it's been on the market for a couple of years, and it's kind of started a little bit slowly in terms of getting anything ready, but I think they're pretty much ready to go now. But the way the systems work is it's a racking system for your PV modules, and it basically forms kind of a mini greenhouse. The sunshine that hits the panels, with the better panels, somewhere between 15 and 20% of the sunlight is turned into electricity, and somewhere around 5 to 10% of the sunlight is either reflected back into the atmosphere or it's absorbed by the panels, which leaves about 70% of the sunlight that actually goes through and turns into warm air, and it can be very warm air. They can get air temperatures up to about 170 degrees. That air temperature is then fanned through an air-to-water heat exchanger and turned into warm water, something in the 120-degree range. That warm water can be used for your domestic, can be used for space heating through either floor heating or a fan coil, or you can actually, in some cases, you can actually even duct directly into the house if you had a situation where it was a cool but sunny day in the wintertime. It's possible you've just dumped the warm air right into the house. What's also slick about this is they can reverse it and run it in the evenings in the summertime and actually take advantage of night sky radiation and pre-cool a house by sending cool air in the evening into a house to try to chill the house down a little bit during the day, so when it does get hot the next day, it takes a lot more. Well, it's a lot easier to keep the house cool. It's a very nice setup. The PVT system right now does require a south-facing roof with an attic underneath it, but I know they're working hard to have a flat roof system and a ground mount system. The nice thing about the PVT is it gives you great Tile 24 benefit. The way Tile 24 works now, and I hope they change it for the next version, but the way it works now is you get absolutely no credit for solar electric systems. You get absolutely no credit for solar space heating systems, but you do get very good credit for solar domestic hot water systems. And so this will give you that. And it also gives it to you without the problems of conventional solar thermal systems, freezing up in the wintertime or steaming up in the summertime or getting into other mischief when the people go on vacation for a year, that sort of thing. Here's a close-up of the of the PVT system. You see your solar modules down here, and then up here at the top is where the warm air is extracted, and it gets fanned down into that heat exchanger. The systems are often mounted flush to your roofing system, and in many cases, the fact that you're not putting the roofing system down, to say if you have like Mission Tile or Slate or some, the nicer roofs, the racking system for the PV, this PVT system, will cost less than the replacement than the roof would have cost. So you're basically getting your solar thermal contribution in some cases for zero. And here's another view of the PVT system. At the very top, they put in what they call a thermal module, which is, it doesn't have the PV, so that there's more sunlight able to go through it. Therefore, the air underneath it gets that much hotter, and so it's the hottest air that gets sent into the fan coil. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Okay, so I've said, I have a great preference for grid-tie solar electric systems, and very curious about systems. We've probably designed about 10 projects using PVT. In solar thermal, we're doing less and less. Let me go through the economics of your standard grid-tie solar electric systems. This is for a house down in Santa Barbara, real bid. We needed a 7.3 kilowatt system, which, by the way, takes up about 420 square feet of roof. The pre-incentive cost is $47,000. 2 years ago, it would have been $73,000, so you can see it's already saved quite a bit. You get a rebate of $2.50 for a new house. This is a new house. You get a rebate of $2.50 per watt from the Public Utilities Commission. If you look at your electric bill, you'll see that a certain amount of money goes towards, I forget how they phrase it, but basically it goes for paying for your neighbor's solar electric system. So you get $18,000 off there, and you get a 30% federal tax credit off of that. So your net cost started out at $47,000, and it's now $20,000. A couple years ago, your net cost after incentives, would have been something in the $60,000 to $50,000 range. So it's a tremendous reduction. Now, you add that to the cost of you add that $20,000 to your mortgage. Let's say 5%, you got a good loan. That's adding $113 to your mortgage each month, which is a bummer, but there you go. This house, which is about a 3,000 square foot house down in Santa Barbara, their normal energy bill would have been about $289 a month. And so you can see that you're saving, the very first month, you're saving about $170. But you're really saving quite a bit more than that, because your PG&E, hang on, I'm getting a notice saying I'm experiencing difficulties with my audio conference. Dang. You will temporarily be unable to use muting controls. What the hell? All right, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and we'll see what happens. So you can see that you're saving, 170. Uh-oh.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Dave. We can hear you.
Oh, you can? I'm getting all these notices that things are bad.
Oh, no. We can hear you.
All right, okay. Sorry about that, guys. So at any rate, so let's see. So we're saving $170 a month and everybody's happy, right? Well, the story is even better than that, because your 30-year mortgage is tax deductible. Your PG&E bill or your electric bill is not. And so you have to make about $400 to pay the utility $289. So your real savings are closer to about $300 a month. And so at any rate, so the numbers really come out great, and that's the very first month. Your simple payback, about 5.9 years, and return on investment about 17%. Keep in mind, for existing houses, the PUC rebate is quite a bit less. It depends where you are in California. If you're in Southern California, the rebate's $1.90 a watt. Again, new homes, $2.50 a watt. But in Northern California, most of